Wrestling promos are typically bound by the rules of an unspoken fourth wall known to us fans as kayfabe. But every once in a while, a wrestler decides to go off script or makes it seem that way at least.
You made wrestling a dirty word, Vince!
And the entire wrestling community collectively loses their shit. Today, we look at work-shoot WWE promos that broke the internet.
Talent is not sexually transmitted.
The Miz destroys Daniel Bryan on the mic. In 2016, Miz had a career-defining intercontinental title run that turned him from annoying wannabe movie star with go-away heat into an actual fan-favorite heel. This was thanks in large part to the now infamous Talking Smack episode where Daniel Bryan, who was the SmackDown GM and one of the hosts of the show, called Miz out for being soft and someone who wrestles like a coward.
You wrestle like a coward. And I was thinking like, oh, okay, what's the soft WWE style? It would be that.
Miz wouldn't take too kindly to this slander and he fired back saying that the reason why he wrestles that way is because he can do it day in and day out for 10 plus years without getting injured.
I don't get injured for 6 months to a year. I am here each and every week.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
This was obviously a knock on Bryan, who was forced to an early retirement due to injuries. He then turns the coward argument on Bryan, saying that he's the real coward for failing to keep his promise to the fans that he would be back in the ring and dares him to quit.
Well, why don't you quit? Why don't you quit and go to the bingo halls with your indie
Okay, I
friends
think you need
then,
to
huh?
Bryan, having heard enough, would walk out, which caused Miz to completely lose it.
And I'm sick of all of you, my GM, sitting there criticizing me, calling me the coward. You're the cowards.
What made this all the more real is Miz welling up with tears while saying his piece, as well as Renee and Maurice's reactions, which perfectly puts the cherry on top on this wonderful promo. In a later interview with Renee Young on her podcast, The Miz revealed that he actually thought Bryan would punch him at some point during that segment, which thankfully didn't happen because it would have taken away from Miz's moment. This wasn't the last time we saw him have an impassionate promo like this though, as just a year later, The Miz got quite possibly his best in-ring promo to date. This time, he interrupted the segment between John Cena and Roman Reigns on Raw, calling both of them out for hogging all the moments while he sits on the sidelines even though he's the IC champion.
How many moments do you two get? Honestly, while the Intercontinental Champion rides the pine at SummerSlam.
He also takes a shot at the Barclays crowd, exposing the fickle-mindedness of fans when it comes to cheering for faces and heels.
You don't know whether to cheer or boo John Cena? You don't know whether to cheer or boo Roman Reigns? Who do you think that affects? It affects me, the only champion in this ring.
The Miz ends it by taking a fat load of crap on John Cena's mantra, saying,
Your shirt says, respect, earn it. I've earned it for 12 damn years.
Ah, chills. Literal chills.
Real quick, we're trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of March, so your subscription would really mean a lot. Thank you. Kevin Owens drops some truth bombs. On the July 9th, 2019 episode of SmackDown, a very pissed and very disgruntled Kevin Owens came out to lambast the McMahons, saying how ever since they went out in the ring and promised that they'll listen to the fans more and give them what they want, all they got was more Shane McMahon TV time, which
Trust me when I say that nobody watching ever wanted that.
Owens tells the crowd how sick it makes him feel whenever Shane calls himself the best wrestler in the world, calling it an insult and a slap to the face to every actual wrestler in the back who busts their ass week in and week out.
And you know what happens when you call yourself the best in the world? Everybody back there, including me, is thinking Shane McMahon can kiss my ass.
What really makes this one feel more realistic is Kevin Owens getting his mic cut off like during a certain someone's Pipebomb Promo. More on that later. Paul Heyman embarrasses the entire WWE locker room. When it comes to blurring the lines between fiction and reality in promos, very few can touch Paul Heyman on the mic.
You, Cody, were his favorite son. But Roman Reigns was the son he always wanted.
And one of his master classes came during ECW's grand return at the One Night Stand 2005 pay-per-view, where Heyman decided to go extreme on his promo and break kayfabe, referencing WCW in Eric Bischoff's face.
You are in our house, bitch.
Lita's real-life affair with Edge,
I have 2 words for you. Matt freaking Hardy.
and the best of all, his savage burn on JBL.
The only reason you were WWE champion for a year
is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesday.
Joey Styles exposes the WWE. Speaking of ECW, one of the more well-known personalities during its heyday was play-by-play commentator Joey Styles, who would later also assume that role on Raw in 2005 after the success of ECW One Night Stand. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows though, and in 2006, after being humiliated by the Spirit Squad of all people and made fun of by his broadcast partner Jerry the King Lawler, Styles finally had enough. With a microphone in his hand, he completely goes off.
I didn't call this company because I was looking for a job. I didn't need a job. WWE called me.
He mentions how WWE asked him to fill JR's role because they had humiliated and fired him again, but since he doesn't sound like JR, who's a quote-unquote sports entertainment storyteller, he gets pulled from WrestleMania commentary and even from Backlash.
In ECW, I called live pay-per-views on my own, solo. No color commentators dragging me down.
But that's not the end of it though, oh no. Styles goes on to say the two words Vince McMahon hates the most.
Professional wrestling.
And how from week 1, he was told over and over again to say sports entertainment instead and refer to wrestlers as superstars.
I'm not allowed to say wrestler. I have to say sports entertainment and refer to the wrestlers as superstars.
To make it worse, he was even told to deliberately ignore calling the moves and holds during the matches so that he can tell stories.
Well, ignoring the moves and the holds is damn insulting to the athletes, the wrestlers, not the entertainers.
You're goddamn right.
The last bit was so damning, if this wasn't a work shoot, he would have been fired on the spot. Just listen to this.
Well, you know what? I am sick of sports entertainment. I am sick of male cheerleaders. I am sick of boogers and bathroom humor and semen, and I am sick of our chairman who likes to talk about his own semen. He mocks God, and makes out with the divas, all to feed his own insatiable ego.
Damn!
Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle's war of words. It's no secret that Riddle and Rollins weren't on the best of terms even before they faced each other on the WWE ring. This real-life beef, however, would all come to a head in 2022 when they had a sit-down interview a week before their match at Clash at the Castle. Now, while most of the promo was your standard bickering from two grown men, the real meat of this encounter was towards the end.
I'm gonna prove to you that there's only one man in your marriage, and that's Becky, bro.
Before he can even say anything, Corey Graves would cut the interview short as they're out of time. After the commercial break though, we were shown what happened after the interview. Seth, who was still reeling after getting owned by Riddle, decides to stoop to a new low, bringing up Riddle's real-life marriage problems.
Talk about your family. Oh wait, you ain't got one because your wife divorced you and took your kids and they don't want to see you anymore, huh?
Tell me, he didn't just say that.
Riddle was absolutely dumbfounded by what he just heard and goes off on Rollins, threatening to F him up for real.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat you up. I'm gonna f you up, bro. Where the f are you? Where are you?
The fact that Triple H actually greenlit Riddle throwing obscenities on a PG-rated WWE show in 2022 still blows my mind today. AJ Lee's Pipebombshell Promo. AJ Lee will go down in history as one of the pioneers of the women's revolution in WWE, a change that's still felt in the product even today. And perhaps the biggest catalyst for this change is AJ's Pipebombshell Promo on the August 26, 2013 episode of Raw. After a nothing match between Brie Bella and Natalya, AJ would come out and mock literally everyone in the ring, who also happened to be the cast members of the hit reality show Total Divas. She then goes scorched earth, calling them
a bunch of cheap, interchangeable, expendable, useless women. Women who have turned to reality television because they just weren't gifted enough to be actresses.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
She continued to bury everyone, saying how she's done more in 1 year than they collectively did their entire careers, and blasts them for not acknowledging her backstage because they knew she worked her entire life to get to WWE.
I gave my life to this, and you were just handed 15 minutes of fame.
AJ would end the pipe bomb by saying,
Get here because I was cute, or because I came from some famous wrestling family, or because I sucked up up to the right people. I got here because I am good.
Man, I was shocked they didn't call the fire department because those poor women got burned alive with one single genius promo. But as the saying goes, like husband, like wife. 2 years before AJ ripped apart the entire cast of Total Divas, CM Punk cut the pipe bomb to end all pipe bombs, the granddaddy of all work-shoot WWE promos, CM Punk's infamous Pipebomb Promo. Now we all know how great Punk is on the microphone and in the ring, but this is the one that truly catapulted him into main event stardom and what kickstarted the summer of Punk. In June 27, 2011, after costing Cena his match against R-Truth, Punk would sit on the stage with the microphone on his head and proceed to rip the entire WWE a new one. He begins by addressing a beaten down John Cena, saying that he doesn't hate him but the idea that he's the best. Punk proclaims himself to be the best in the world and that the only thing Cena is better at than him is
kissing Vince McMahon's ass.
He even compares Cena's ass kissing to the likes of Hulk Hogan and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which let me know in the comments who you think truly is the best ass kisser of the three. But anyway, Punk laments how he's been vilified and hated since the first day he stepped foot in the WWE for being a Paul Heyman guy, and breaks the fourth wall by referencing another Paul Heyman guy in Brock Lesnar, who hasn't been with the company since 2004 at that time. He also calls out Vince for his imaginary brass ring, saying that no matter how much he proves he's the best, he never gets the same recognition that guys like John Cena get.
Your lovely little collector cups, I'm not on the cover of the program, I'm barely promoted.
The crowd wasn't safe from this one either, as they would also feel the wrath of one Phil Brooks.
The ones that buy those programs that my face isn't on the cover of, and then at 5 in the morning at the airport, you try to shove it in my face so you can get an autograph and try to sell it on eBay because you're too lazy to go get a real job.
Punk announces that he's leaving with the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank when his contract expires, and brings up the idea of going back to the Indies with the title.
Who knows? Maybe I'll go defend it in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe I'll go back to Ring of Honor.
It's just a shame though that WWE didn't have the balls to let him do this when he went away. Punk would take more pot shots at Vince, saying how he's a millionaire who should be a billionaire, but he's not because he surrounds himself with corporate yes men like John Laurinaitis, who tells him what he wants to hear. And my favorite line in all of this is when Punk goes for the kill, literally, by saying
that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's dead, but the fact is, it's gonna get taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family.
It's crazy to think how this couple delivered two of the most controversial and most talked about shoot-style promos in WWE history in a span of 2 years. Now, if only they could give their dog Larry a microphone.